Hey Gammon, how's it going? I hope everyone is staying warm today. It's 28 degrees outside, and the last time I went outside, it was really icy out. So make sure you're being safe. Today, I wanted to show you guys a little activity you could do with mom and dad, or big brother, big sister, whoever. Make sure you get permission to do this. I think it would be, especially if you're following along with my garden videos, I think it would be really fun if you guys grew some stuff at home too. So some of you might be thinking, oh man, I don't have, I live in an apartment, I don't have a place to grow things. But I'm going to show you how you can grow some food in really small containers. So today we're going to make a self-watering planter. Let me pull up my engineering and design poster here. So we are going to make a self-watering poster because Mr. Suter always forgets to water his plants, so they die. So, I mean, some people have really good luck growing their plants in regular pots, but I do not, because I'll plant them and I'll water them and I'll take care of them for like 2 days, and then I'll forget about them and come back like 2 weeks later and they're dead. So I like to make self-watering planters. So I will show you an image of what the self-watering planter should look like. In my classroom, we've used these before, but I didn't have you create them because I already had created them. So now is your chance to create your own. You might need to draw out your own plan, and you might need to improvise. So you can use 2-liter containers, like big soda pop. You can use a regular plastic water bottle, or I don't drink out of water bottles very often, so I have an old white vinegar container that was left over from cleaning out a motorcycle gas tank. So I'm going to recycle this guy. So that's what I'm going to use, and so now we're going to go into our planning stage, and I will show you what I plan to do with this. I'm going to draw my diagram here, and you might need to adapt yours, and I'll show you some problems you might have if you're just using a recycled water bottle. So as long as you have a traditional looking water bottle, you should be fine. If it's got a funky shape to it, I don't think it's going to work. You might have to get really creative. But a traditional looking water bottle, kind of like this, or those Nestle or Aquafina or Evian, whatever you want to drink out of, those will all work as well. And the size can be bigger or smaller, doesn't matter. So let's start with our water bottle. So here, I'm going to try my best to draw a water bottle. It's not going to look that great because I'm not an artist, but have a growth mindset and just follow along with me. There's my water bottle. Perfect, right? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut our water bottle in half. Something like that, all right? Pretty simple. Now, if you've got a water bottle like mine that's a harder plastic, you are probably going to need mom or dad's help, or big sister or little sister. Little sister wouldn't help you. Mr. Suter's talking crazy. Somebody bigger than you is probably going to want to help you with that. Scissors might not work, so they might have to get creative. I don't have scissors because, why would I have scissors at my house? I have a pocket knife. I think I have some scissors out in my garage, but I don't want to go out there. It's really cold. So I'm just going to use this little box cutter. Definitely get mom or dad's help, or big brother, somebody. Make sure you get permission to do this first. I can't emphasize that enough. This is a fun activity to do with adult supervision, so do it with adult supervision. And so, what we're going to do, we're going to cut our bottle in half. We will have our bottom container here, and this is going to be our reservoir. That's where a reservoir that's going to store all the water in, like Cheney Lake Reservoir. It's a big storage place for water. Okay. Anyways, this is where we're going to store our water. And then we're going to flip that cut off part upside down. And it's going to fit right into the top, kind of like that. And that's going to be our grow bed. It's the bed where our plant will grow. So we'll fill this part with soil. Or you can do soil, I like to do soil with these because the soil has nutrients in it, but you can do blah, 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 blah. I've done some with like lava rock. Lava rock, I mean, your plants aren't going to get any nutrients out of the lava rock, so to grow with that, you might want to use nutrient-rich water, like our fish water, because remember our fish poop, and the poop has nutrients in it the plants eat. Or you can also use some hydrogen. You might recognize this from our aquaponics system. And again, if you use these, you need to use nutrient-rich water. But let's say you're like, Mr. Suter, I don't have nutrient-rich water. Well, just use regular water. One pro tip for you is if you're using tap water, kind of plan ahead, begin with the end in mind. Just like our fish, our tap water has chlorine in it that will burn our fish's skin. Well, unfortunately, our tap water also will burn our plant's roots. Some people will say it doesn't make a difference, but I think it makes a difference. I don't like to drink our tap water. I use filtered water, and I let it sit out overnight to let all that chlorine evaporate. So I want to treat my living things like I treat myself, so that's why I do it that way. But you do whatever works for you. Anyways, we are going to first cut our water bottle in half. So I have a dry erase marker. I am going to attempt to keep my hand still and spin the water bottle so that I get a straight line. Because this bottle is hard plastic. If you have one of those Nestle bottles, where can you see it at? Like the thin plastic ones, you can actually just lay those flat and cut it with regular scissors. But I don't have regular scissors, and I don't have one of those bottles. I have a hard plastic bottle. So once we have it, all we gotta do is cut it. So I'm gonna very carefully cut this. Come on. Maybe I should have drained all the vinegar out. It's very smelly. I'm gonna try and put that in there. Cool. Awesome. Great, grand. We did it. So, there we go. That will be our thing there. Now, some of you might be thinking, Mr. Suter, you've got a lid on there. How's the water going to get in? Well, you've got a few options here. If we're going to fill this with soil, I don't like to have just the lid off because sometimes the soil will fall through. So if you can get some big rocks, like the lava rock, and just kind of set it there so that it kind of works as a plug, so water will still flow both ways. You can do that, or you can poke holes in it. What I'm gonna do is I have my soldering iron next to me, which is really hot. I use this for like fixing, my microphone when it was broken. I'm just gonna use it, don't breathe that, to melt some holes. And that's how mine's gonna breathe. Now you could use your scissors. If you have those Nestle, don't breathe that. If you have those Nestle water bottles that are really like chintzy and bendable, you can poke through a hole with those with your scissors really carefully, pretty easily. This water bottle, here, can you see the holes I made? This water bottle's got a pretty tough lid on it, so that's not gonna work. But we will do that. And then our actual planter is finished. Now, you can use some tape. If you're having a problem with yours falling over, you can use some tape. With this one, what I'm going to do is I will put soil in here, and then I'm actually gonna drop some of these lava rocks, maybe. that might not work. My idea was to drop some lava rocks in it. I'm not going to use lava rocks. They're too big. I've got some river rocks somewhere. I've got river rocks I'll use. But I'm going to use these to hold that down into place. So now this won't, it's pretty stable now. You don't have to do that, but some people in our classroom, we didn't use the rocks. In our classroom, all we did was tape around it with like packing tape. But if you're like Mr. Suter and you don't have packing tape at your house, I do have packing tape in my house. It's in my garage. And again, I'm not going out to the garage. It's very cold. So rocks will do just fine. That's not going to fall over. And then when we fill this with soil, it's not going to fall over either, right? So let's grab some soil and be careful. I have a vacuum cleaner, so I will vacuum all this up when I'm done. But we're going to fill our container with soil. I'm not going to fill it all the way, but I'm going to fill it right about there. So I'll turn it sideways so maybe you can see. I've got like a fingernail's depth in there still. And then I'm just going to put my seeds down. So when we're planting seeds, you could put one seed in here, and our lettuce seeds are very small. I typically, what I will do is I will sprinkle 4 or 5 seeds in and kind of separate them out. Because chances are not all of these will start growing. I don't know if you can see that. If they all start growing, that's great. You can very carefully take them out and put them into other containers. But sometimes I'll plant 3 or 4 seeds and only 1 or 2 will start growing. And then of the 1 or 2 that grow, I usually pick the one that's the healthiest and leave that one alone and transplant the other one into another container. So we've got our seeds in there, and then I'm going to kind of cover it up. Now, if you don't have soil, like potting soil, again, you can find somewhere to dig a hole outside. I know that's not the ideal thing, or you could just buy some if your parents are like, hey, let's start an indoor garden. You can also use the same thing for herbs in your herb, like if you want to use herbs like in your kitchen, some parents like to do that. You can see I've got some mint drying over there. I had to drown some bugs that were on it, so I will go replant those later. But anyways, I don't want to lose these seeds, so I'm going to pick them up. Put them back. So, let's see. We drew our diagram, we gathered our materials, we followed our plan, and I guess I'm going to turn my soldering iron off because I don't want to burn myself. Now we need to water it, so I said I've got my water here. Oh, there's my razor blade I was looking for. Whoops. Come on, water. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour just a little bit of water. And maybe I can change this one so you can see. There you go. And then I'm going to wait for the water to start coming through and filling up the reservoir here. I don't want to fill the reservoir all the way up, but I want to make sure that we do have enough water in there so that we don't have to come back and water this guy every day, because I don't want to do that. I won't remember. I have too many things going on right now. Oh, okay. So can you see the water? It's about to the level of the rocks. So that's good. That tells me that we have good flow. The water is able to trickle and percolate down through everything, which means that it will have no problem when it evaporates going back up through the system. So I'm going to fill just a little bit more. and then I'm gonna call that good. Sweet. Oh man, I ruined my plan. It's okay, we followed it, right? We cut our bottle in half. I guess I knew that I needed to poke holes. Some of you might come up with a different solution. Let me know what you do, and if you decide to grow something other than lettuce, let me know as well. That'd be kind of fun to see what we can grow. And if you have any ideas on what I should grow, let me know as well. I'm actually going to put the date on this. So today is April 3rd, so that's 4/3. And then I'm gonna look at our seed packet. Usually it tells you how many days it takes for it to start growing. I don't see it. But if like a couple of weeks go, 7 to 10 days. So if after 10 days I don't see anything growing in here, I'm gonna start over. So, fixed, I think, maybe. All right, cool. So I'm gonna set this, right now I really don't need to set it in the light because I don't have any seedlings growing, but because I don't wanna mess with it, I'm gonna go and set it over by that grow light over there. And if you don't have a light or anything like that, you can set it by a windowsill, but make sure that that window actually has sunlight that's coming directly in. You don't want to set it by a window that the sun never shines through. So make sure, watch your windows, figure out where you want to place it. That should be part of your planning process. You don't want to go through the trouble of making your self-watering planter and then having no idea where to put it. If you've got like an apartment with a balcony that has good sunlight, don't set it outside yet because it's still really cold. So wait for a couple weeks, keep it indoors, make sure it has some light on it, or wait till, wait to start this a few weeks from now. There's no rush, you can do this anytime you want, and then set it outdoors. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. I look forward to seeing what you guys grow, but yeah. I hope you guys have a great day and stay warm. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.